Hi, so just a quick video to demonstrate the capabilities of the performance range laser distance sensors, the OM20, OM30, and really just to highlight the use of the output, the physical output for distance switching. So you can use it in window, point or single point mode. And this version I have here is the 50 to 350mm working range version with a line beam spot. Of course, different ranges and beam spots available. So yeah, just a quick demo to show the physical output and how you could potentially use it. You can see here, I've got my sensor set up to be looking at this target here. So it's the line beam version, 50 to 350mm range. Analog output, of course, for the measurement purposes, but what I want to show you is how you can use the physical switched output for part presence detections of small objects, or even just a range detection to say that something's within a certain range and anything outside of it is no good. So you can see my output LED is currently off, and the distance that the sensor is mounted away from the target here, as you can see, is around 238mm away. And so if I scroll down and just show you the settings on here, so as I scroll down you'll see that I have the parameters set up for where the switching can take place and also what I want the switching to do. So in this case we set up the switch as active high or active low, so normally open, normally closed, at a single point to say, right, when it's reached a certain distance away, then give me a switch. So in this example here, I've got the sensor set up around 238mm away from the target, and I've said give me a switch as soon as something becomes as close as 237mm away from the sensor. So I can pick up small targets like so, some around a mil thick pieces of metal, so this could be washers or so forth. And you can see I can detect that straight away. The output turns on, I take it away, the output turns off. So from 200mm away I can detect quite small, thin objects. So again, metal piece in, output comes on, output goes off when not present. If I choose something else, another piece of metal here of different colour, presence, absence. This is not as thick, but you can see as soon as I move it closer than that 237mm from the sensor, I get my output. Detecting washers, nuts and bolts, etc., making sure they've been fitted. Of course, as it's a distance sensor, it's generally colour independent. So a nice white target there gives me an output, no problem. Metal target, no problem at all. And you can see the measurement rates here. So the background, 238mm. Oops. This piece of metal here gives us 236.9mm. This piece of metal here, 236mm. Another piece here, 236.8mm. So you can do some quite precise detections of part presence and absence of thin materials with the sensor. Okay, so now just to show you how the window mode works on the output switch. So again, it may be detecting whether something is in the right place, plus or minus a few mil, or whether it is just to detect that something is present within a certain range. You can use the physical output on the sensor there. So again, as you can see, the background or the target here is set at 238.5 mil roughly, and all you do is put in the range. So I've given it a 10 mil range from 240 mil to 230 mil just by typing in the value there, and I've set it as a window as the configuration, and I've said it's high in the active mode, and I've got a hysteresis of around 0.5 mil. So now if you look at the output here on the sensor, if I bring the sensor closer to the target, you see the output goes off, and you can see it's because the measurement is 224 mil, so it's inside that 230. If I now move it back, you can see with our measurement it's 233 mil, so inside that measuring range, and the output is on. Move it to outside of that range to 244, so outside of that 240 mil, you see the output goes off again, and then when I am within range, the output comes on. So you've got a nice push-pull output there to detect part presence maybe, or just that the target that you're expecting to see is within the range that you expect to see it. So it could be press movement, or it could be simple part presence detection. And again, you can do this with various materials due to the nature of the laser distance. So you can see there, moving my card close and further away. I've got a nice 10 mil band there. Of course, you can make it smaller. You can get it down to a small band of only a millimeter. So off, on, off. So I've got that nice 10 mil working range there. So just to summarize, the OM20 or OM30 can be set up via the IO-Link interface and IO-Link settings to amend the use of the physical output from alarm to a distance switch, and you can set that to point or window mode to quite fine distances to switch as and how you wish. So it can be a great sensor for detecting part presence or detecting that something is within a certain window away. So maybe tightening tolerances, press movement, or even to see if a nut and bolt arrangement or washer arrangement is screwed to the right depths, that type of thing.